Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the confines of the Black Hills Energy Stadium as your Spearfish Sasquatch have made it home from their last series away against the Gem City Bison. We'll have plenty to talk about with that, but for right now, let's go ahead and focus on the beautiful day ahead of us as our Sasquatch are looking to face off for the first time this season against the Casper Horseheads, all the way from Casper, Wyoming. They have made their first trip. This is our first look at them so far. Very excited to see what do we have against them in just a 2-game set. Our first of just that many games this year. A quick home series before we take it out towards the Western Nebraska Pioneers in just a few days. But for right now, we have 2 games to focus on against the Horseheads. And it is a beautiful night to do so. I am Win Andrews, your voice of the Sasquatch. So happy to be with you on the call and so happy to be home. It was about time. It feels like any day that is spent away from the home stadium just needs to be spent here. I don't like being away. I'm glad that we are back here for game 1 against the Horseheads as your Spearfish Sasquatch have gotten hot to start the second half of play. They are 7-4. So far to start the second half, whereas the Horseheads are only 2-8. A lot of exciting stuff to talk about in this matchup today. But right before that, as the umpires are meeting right behind home plate, we're going to go and get right into these matchups. As I'm going to try to get ahead of our PA guy here with us in the booth. So leading off for the Casper Horseheads today in game 1, number 4, the center fielder, Tucker Rowe. Hitting second, number 27, the left fielder, Kenny Garcia. Batting third, number 40, the third baseman, Braden Morrow. Batting cleanup, number 20, the right fielder, Bradley Fleener. Batting fifth, number 23, the second baseman, Logan Conklin. Hitting sixth, number 36, the designated hitter, Brian McClellan. Batting seventh, number 3, the shortstop, Chris Burke. Batting eighth, number 9, the first baseman, Ethan Rose. And rounding out the order tonight for Casper is number 8, the catcher, Dane Flashberg. While pitching for the Horseheads in game 1 is going to be number 32, Brady Nelson. We'll have plenty of stats from Nelson as he takes the mound in the bottom of the first inning. But now, let's focus on your hometown Spearfish Sasquatch against the Casper Horseheads. Leading off tonight for Spearfish, number 25, the right fielder, Nicky Winterstein. Batting second, number 24, the second baseman, Ryan Bachman. Hitting third, number 27, the shortstop, Johnny McHenry. Batting cleanup, number 28, the first baseman, Harrison Clark. Batting fifth, number 12, the third baseman, Gabe Springer. Hitting sixth and catching behind the dish, number 30, Drew Biggerstaff. Batting seventh, number 4, the center fielder, Bryson Hoyer. Batting eighth and designated hitting tonight for Spearfish is number 17, Bailey Bordas. And finishing out the order tonight for Spearfish Sasquatch is number 18, the left fielder, Davis Carr. Now pitching tonight for the Sasquatch is number 6, Colby Schiffer. That's right, you've heard his name a couple of times out of the bullpen. Well, tonight we're changing things up. He is our starter. We are very excited to see what he has up his sleeve as he takes the mound in game 1. As we introduce the new coaching staff for your Spearfish Sasquatch, led by head coach Jarrett Hunt, who is meeting with the head coach for the Casper Horseheads. As we are just a few minutes away from starting lineups and the national anthem, Jarrett Hunt is an assistant coach over at Montana State Billings University. Very excited to see how he leads this team for the last few weeks of the regular season. And he is very excited. He joined the team on the Gem City Bison road trip just a few days ago. And now he stands in the dugout with the Sasquatch on his first home game against the Casper Horseheads. We hope it is a win to introduce him to our winning ways here at home. We will see what we have in terms of that on this Monday afternoon, July 11th at 6:30 p.m. We are 5 minutes away from first pitch as your Spearfish Sasquatch are wearing their all-white uniforms today. A beautiful combination as we are getting these starting lineups in, but we are going to be on standby for just a few moments as the starting lineups are being introduced, and both teams will be taking the field. We are very excited. Squatch looking to improve to 8-4 to start the second half. Would be a great opportunity to take it against the Casper Horseheads. So in just a few moments, we will have these lineups introduced, and we will have first pitch underway. Just a few minutes away, and we're glad you were tuning in with us here in Game 1. The Horseheads, the Sasquatch, and we are looking to take a 2-game sweep against our friends from Wyoming. We'll be back in just a few moments, right after the national anthem. Do not go anywhere. And that is exactly what we were about to do as we are getting ready. In just a few minutes, Colby Schiffer, the man on the mound tonight for the Spearfish Sasquatch in his first start of this regular season, is getting ready with a few warm-up pitches to his catcher for the night, Drew Biggerstaff, number 30. And the Horsehead offense has a lot to prepare for. A great catcher like Drew and a pitcher like Colby can spell some trouble for opposing offenses. I am Wynn Andrews, your voice of the Sasquatch this season. A beautiful night here, hardly a cloud in the sky, and we know 100% that it will not rain today. I'm usually pretty wrong on my forecasts, but I can guarantee you folks I am not wrong today. That is how beautiful of a day it is. It is going to be a nice one for the remainder of this Monday, as the crowd is beginning to filter in here. We're going to have a big crowd tonight. Very excited for that. And welcome back to Spearfish Sasquatch territory. So coming into tonight, the Squatch had 5 consecutive series wins. But unfortunately, that came to an end last night against the Gem City Bison. After the Sasquatch had a 3-game set in Laramie, Wyoming, they took game 1, as they usually had in their first 2 series against the Bison. We won both of the first 2 series we played at home. Both series wins, 2 games to 1. Unfortunately, not the same luck as we traveled to Wyoming. We took game 1 but fell in games 2 and 3, including a 7-error performance by the Sasquatch defense last night in game 3. And we do not want a repeat of that. I guarantee we will hope to turn that around tonight against the Horseheads. So the Bison ruined our consecutive series win streak. We hope to start one up again today. Would be a great opportunity here against the Horseheads, as we will see what is going on here. Not really sure. We got Damon Gaither down the first base line playing rock, paper, scissors with what it appears to be Chris Burke, the shortstop. But Chris Burke just lost. So not sure what that was about, but maybe that's indicative of the Sasquatch luck tonight. Damon Gaither won rock, paper, scissors, and now we are getting ready for first pitch on another glistening hot summer day here in Spearfish, South Dakota. The first pitch underway officially at 6:36 p.m. And Colby Schiffer fires in for a strike against the leadoff hitter, Tucker Rowe, the center fielder, as Rowe fouls that one back 0-2. It is 7-Eleven night here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. You might be wondering, why 7-Eleven? Isn't that a gas station? Well, it is July 11th, as that one is going to be popped into foul ground. Harrison Clark not able to get to that one, and Nicky Winterstein thinking he was going to make an incredible catch, but would have been the play of the century, as that one was fouled over into the Sasquatch bullpen. Nicky had to stop just short, unless he wanted to barrel through the wall. Heads back to right field. So Schiffer is quickly ahead. No balls, 2 strikes to Tucker Rowe. The pitch. And Rowe gets just a piece of it. So he hangs there in the count. But it is 7-Eleven night, July 11th, which means that we are giving away free air fresheners for the first 200 people that come in to the stadium. Not sure if we've reached officially 200 yet, but we are getting close. We'd love to see you here in attendance, as the Squatch are happy to be back. After the 3-game set against the Bison, we have 2 against the Horseheads, 1 today, 1 tomorrow, before we head back out to face off against the Western Nebraska Pioneers. And that's going to be a very exciting matchup. 2 playoff-hungry teams, and the Sasquatch and the Pioneers. But first, let's take care of business, starting with tonight. The 0-2 to Tucker once more, and he is going to be frozen on strikes. Can't pull the trigger there, and a first strikeout of the night for Colby Schiffer. That's the way to start it, as Kenny Garcia stepping in, the left fielder, batting second tonight.
Our pitcher's last name is Schiffer or Schifar?
After Tucker Rowe is taken care of on strikes, Colby is working fast, not wasting any time, which is one of his keys to the game. Mentioned earlier how he is just going to work on getting ahead of counts, not letting any free passes occur, and just keeping these Horsehead batters off stride. A 2-0 count now to Kenny Garcia, and that one's going to be outside. A quick 3-0 count now for Colby. 1 out, nobody on. And Colby needs to fire a strike here. We'll see what he does. And that one is a called strike. Falls out of the glove of Biggerstaff, but a 3-1 count now to Mr. Garcia from California. Plays at Cal State San Marcos. Batting .340 on the year to this point. 3-1. And that one is going to be hit softly out towards right center. Nicky Winterstein cuts it off in time for out number 2. So a bloop shot there for Kenny Garcia, and quickly 2 out here in the top of the first inning for Colby Schiffer. And now we look towards Braden Morrow, the third baseman. And the 2-out pitch. Taken low and inside for ball 1. The 1-0. And a called strike 1 there. That finds the zone, a 1-1 count with 2 outs and nobody on. For Morrow, who plays at Tulane University. And that one is going to be grounded up the middle, right past the glove of Schiffer, and no one is there as it trickles over into center field. So a 2-out single there from Braden Morrow, and that is going to roll it over to Bradley Fleener, the right fielder. So a good piece of hitting there. Colby Schiffer unable to bend down just in time, gets right past him. And Morrow is going to take first base. So Schiffer's pitch to Fleener, and Bradley is going to hit that one deep out towards right center at the track, and that one is going to get right off the wall. Nicky Winterstein cuts it off, and they are going to wave their run around third base, and that is going to be an early 1-0 lead off of the RBI double from Bradley Fleener. A quick 2 outs and then a single and a double out towards the track has the Horseheads working early. 2 hits, 1 run. And we hope that is all that we see so far here in the top of the first. Logan Conklin, the second baseman, stepping in. So ball 1 for Colby, who is having his first start of the season. As we mentioned, he has had, through his first 5 appearances, a 1.12 ERA. By far the best in terms of that sample size for the Sasquatch this season as a pitching staff. Colby has been nothing short of impressive. From California, pitches at Loyola Marymount University. And fires that one. Looks good from up here, but apparently not down there. 3 balls, no strikes. As he looks to catch back up against Conklin. And there we go. And strike 1. Brian McClelland on deck for the Horseheads. We hope to see him in the second inning. He is the designated hitter. The 3-1 from Colby. And that's going to be inside. So Conklin's going to take his walk. Runners on first and second now. Still 2 outs. So here comes McClellan. Fleener on second base. Conklin on first. And now Brian McClellan with 2 outs. We hope to make him out number 3 and get down to the bottom of the first so we can see the Sasquatch offense. The Horseheads, who are 2-8 to start the second half of play, you have to imagine they are hungry. It's been a bit of a tough season for Casper so far. A 2-8 record in the second half and a 12-27 record overall. Especially with a team that is surging like the Sasquatch, it's always teams like the Horseheads who have struggled that are looking to make a statement. And you know, they are going to be giving us every bit of effort, trying to get an upset or two in the 2-game set here at home. Schiffer is quickly ahead 0-2. And that one is going to get behind Biggerstaff. Runners will advance to second and third. Off of the passed ball. So we mentioned with our new head coaches, it's a bit of a different lineup right now. In terms of having a guy from the bullpen, Colby Schiffer, we've seen him in a lot of late inning situations, now getting the start. And there we go, struck him out. As Brian McClellan swings and misses on a great pitch there from Colby. He allows 1 run, but that is it. The Squatch looking to pile it right back in the bottom of the first and take this lead right back. We feel pretty good about our chances. We're headed to the bottom of the first. Casper up early, 1-0.
Venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota. You'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
We're all going somewhere, going higher, faster, farther, going in new directions, to new places. At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. We're dedicated to advanced orthopedic care with the latest innovations, technology, expertise, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Learn more at monument.health/orthopedics.
So the Casper Horseheads, making their way from Casper, Wyoming for a 2-game set against the Sasquatch, have struck first early in the top of the first inning. After a quick 2 outs for Colby Schiffer, he allows a single and a double. And that RBI courtesy of Bradley Fleener, the right fielder. But that is all that they were able to get in the first, so a little 2-out trouble. Hopefully that is all we see from Colby tonight. He has settled in and struck out 2 of the Horsehead batters in that first inning. So now in the bottom of the first, as the Casper pitcher is getting ready on the mound, we'll have plenty to talk about with him. As Nicky Winterstein, our leadoff hitter, Mr. Consistent, and the bearded man we like to call him. You can call him a lot of things. Mr. Sasquatch is stepping in now, as he did win the Mr. Sasquatch competition with a beard like that. No surprise. The man from Toledo. As he steps in now against the pitcher for Casper, number 32, Brady Nelson. Nelson has a 1-run lead to protect, but it is going to be a tough task with an offense like Spearfish's. As Winterstein has stepped in, and we are awaiting Nelson's first pitch. And fired right down Broadway for strike number 1. A beautiful day here in Spearfish. So glad you were joining us, whether it be on the live stream or at the park, as Winterstein fouls that one off. We've had some pretty good weather so far in July. Cannot complain about it at all. Very hot days, but what more can you expect from a Spearfish summer? Plenty of blue sky around us. As Nicky is quickly behind 0-2. And Nelson's pitch, and Winterstein is going to foul that one in off his hands. Nelson, hailing from Oro Valley, Arizona, plays at Arizona Western University. And we have some interesting stats on Nelson, as he has an 0-4 record for the Horseheads so far. Bit of some tough luck. He has a 15.06 ERA through his first 10 appearances for the Horseheads. This will be his 6th start on the mound. No balls, 2 strikes. And Winterstein is going to hit that one into center field. And a great catch there from Tucker Rowe. Able to take care of Winterstein for out number 1. It was hit into shallow center, but Rowe makes a dive as Ryan Bachman steps in. In his last appearance out of the pen for the Horseheads, Brady Nelson went 2 innings, giving up 3 earned runs on 5 hits. And what we've seen through looking at his stats is that walks have not been his problem at all. He is not going to give up many free passes. but through 31 and 2/3 innings, he has given up 74 hits. So he attacks the zone, but hitters have had pretty good amount of luck so far, which is a big reason for that 15 earned run average. So he is taking the mound here in game one, trying to get his season trending in the right direction. We wish him the best, but we hope that that luck does not start tonight against the Sasquatch. As Bachman stepping in, he is in a 1-1 count. And he's going to foul that one off again. So happy to have the guys back in town. We have had the past 3 weeks we've had 2 homestands, each of them being 6 games. And for both of those homestands, we have ended with a 5-1 record, including our latest one, 3 games against the Gem City Bison, taking 2 of 3 and then sweeping our friends from Idaho, the Canyon County Spuds. If you remember just a few days ago, we walked it off in games 2 and 3 of that series. As Ryan Bachman is going to be called out on strikes. That one graces the outside edge of the plate for out number 2. So the first strikeout of the night for Brady Nelson. And Johnny McHenry stepping in with 2 outs. So the Squatch have been very successful, to say the least, at home. Looking to keep that going tonight. A 1-0 lead for Casper. As we mentioned, these are very winnable games. The Horseheads have struggled in a lot of ways, but still not a team to discount. You can't discount any of these teams, as each of them have great players. And the 1-0 from Nelson now to Johnny. And that one unable to find the zone. A 2-0 count. So we'll see what McHenry can do here. He's batting .314 on the year. He has been great, very consistent. And that one finds the zone. A 2-1 count now with 2 outs and nobody on. Harrison Clark is on deck. And Nelson takes his time between pitches. It's been a bit of a slow bottom of the first, even though both first 2 batters for the Sasquatch have been retired. So Nelson's trying to fight back into this count. As we said, it does not walk a lot of guys. So this Sasquatch offense has to be aware that he will throw it in the zone. Location hasn't necessarily been the problem. So now even count it to the pitch. And that one's way inside, gets past the catcher right off the backstop for a full count now. So Johnny from Sparks, Nevada, plays at Saracoso Community College. 43 hits through 35 games played. This will be his 36th. The payoff pitch. And a swing and a miss there. McHenry unable to catch up to it. And 2 punch outs for Brady Nelson in the bottom of the first. We head to the top of the second. Casper Horseheads have a 1-0 lead early. And Colby Schiffer going out for his 2nd inning of work. Looking to get back at it with Drew Biggerstaff behind the plate. A beautiful day for baseball. We're happy you're here with us. We'll be right back with you.
we keep going so you can keep going. With advanced orthopedic care, technology, innovations, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner.
A beautiful day for baseball here at Black Hills Energy Stadium as the Sasquatch and the Horseheads are battling it out. As Casper has a quick 1-0 lead in the top of the second. And the bottom third of the lineup for the Horseheads is coming up. Chris Burke leading it off. The shortstop, number 3. As he just fouled that one behind us in the booth for strike 1. And Colby Schiffer back on the mound for another inning. So Burke from Dakota State University batting .208 and hitting in the 7th spot tonight. .78 degrees here in Spearfish. Not a lot of wind, but definitely has been hotter on some days, so we can't complain about that, as that one is going to be lined into left field. Davis Carr fields it cleanly and throws back, but that is going to be a leadoff single there for Chris Burke. As Ethan Rose, the first baseman, steps in. That one gets between Springer at third and McHenry, the shortstop. So a quick 3 hits through an inning for this Horsehead offense. They seem determined. In the first inning, after a quick 2 outs for Schiffer, a single from Braden Morrow followed by Bradley Fleener's RBI double put them up with that 1-0 lead quickly. And Colby looking to take care of Ethan Rose. Big swing and a miss there for strike 2. If you were watching in that series loss against the Gym City Bison just a few days ago, we had 3 games. Took game 1, as that is going to be a called strike 3. Ethan Rose has to walk back to the dugout after he is called out on strikes. And that's going to bring up Dane Flashberg, the 9-hole hitter, the catcher. Runner on first base, 1 out. We've seen us turn many double plays, wouldn't mind one here. And that one is going to be hit way high right behind the first base bag. Harrison Clark calls it off and takes care of it for out number 2. So there we go. The quick 2 outs after the leadoff single from Chris Burke. That will bring up Tucker Rowe again, as that was Dane Flashberg who popped that one up. But we took game 1 against the Bison and then fell in very tough losses in games 2 and 3. As that one is going to be called strike 1 down the middle. An 0-1 count with 2 outs for Schiffer. But we are very glad that you're here with us. Great to be back on this live stream, as Chris Burke is playing around over there at first base, keeping the attention of Colby Schiffer on the mound. And that one is going to be grounded softly to Gabe Springer. He's able to field it cleanly, and the throw over to first in time for out number 3. We will talk more about that Gym City series in just a few minutes. But after a leadoff single from Chris Burke, that is going to be the next 3 batters retired. And Colby Schiffer heads back to the dugout. We have a 1-0 deficit to take care of. We can do that easily. Headed to the bottom of the second. Casper on top for now.
Knee replacement? With the area's only ROSA robot, Monument Health offers a more personalized and precise procedure, customized for your anatomy. Get going with Monument Health, your partner for advanced orthopedic care.
And back here at Black Hills Energy Stadium in the bottom of the second inning, Harrison Clark is stepping in as he is getting ready for his first look at Brady Nelson. 2 strikeouts there from Nelson in that bottom of the first, hoping for some different luck for the Sasquatch here in the second. As the Squatch are looking for their first hit of the 9, maybe in the form of Harrison. As we have the heart of the order up, Harrison Clark, Gabe Springer, and Drew Biggerstaff. As Harrison is quickly behind 0-1. And Nelson's pitch, and that one is going to be lined over into center field. And Rowe cannot get to that one, just has to step in front of it. So a leadoff single there for Harrison Clark gets the things going. And the Squatch are getting ready to roll. First hit of the night. And hopefully that is not all here in the second. Gabe Springer stepping in. A very dangerous lineup, 1 through 9 for the Sasquatch, night in and night out. And it's good to see Harrison back. He had a few DH stints for the Sasquatch in the last few games, but now starting to get more frequent reps over at first base after a hamstring injury that had kind of been lingering throughout the summer. Doesn't seem to be bothering him too much. Still a little bit of turn on that pitch. And hit it hard. And we'll see what Gabe can do. Gabe's been all over the lineup, whether it be leading off, batting 7 or 8. Tonight he is batting 5th. A perfect middle of the lineup threat. As Gabe is hitting .259 after having a pretty big struggle, but we knew that it would not take too long until he found his bat. And he has been a pleasure to watch. The 1-1 count. Now we'll see if Gabe can do anything here. And that one outside of the zone. A 2-1 count. Dane Flashberg behind the plate tried to frame that one well, but unable to convince the ump. And the pitch. As Springer fouls that one off. A 2-2 count. Springer, who will be playing at Stanford University in the fall. He He is just getting those warm-up reps ready. The 2-2, Harrison Clark, slides back to first base in time. He'll be safe. So a 2-2 count, Clark on first, nobody out. Springer looking to put it in play. And the pitch. And that one's low and inside. Count runs full. After a quick 3 hits, through the first 2 innings for the Horseheads, we'd love to see the Squatch fire right back. And Nelson looking on the pitch. And that one is going to be hit over to the second baseman, throwing to short, and then the throw to first. So 1 out there as that one is taken care of. Harrison Clark out at second base. They try to turn the double play, but Gabe Springer replaces Clark over at first. So 1 out and 1 on for Drew Biggerstaff. Folks, you'll have to forgive me if I have any voice cracks or don't really necessarily feel like I'm on the top of my game today. I've come down with something weird. Not really sure what it is. Feels like it might just be those summer allergies. Can't really tell. But still, either way, very happy to be here with you in the booth today for hopefully a Squatch victory in Game 1 against the Horseheads. So Biggerstaff from Everett Community College is one of the leading guys in terms of batting average for the Sasquatch so far, batting .327. So eventually the Squatch are starting to see a little bit more of Nelson, and with the 15 ERA, those stats don't necessarily lie. And Springer's going to try to steal second, and the throw, goodness gracious, Springer was easily safe because Dane behind the plate threw directly to the pitcher, who ducked down on the mound but had to glove it because that was a very low throw. Don't know if that was on purpose. I don't think it was, because the catcher threw right at the head of Nelson. So now Springer in scoring position. 2 balls, no strikes, and only 1 out. Let's see what Drew can do. And he is going to lift that one foul out of play. And we know that after the Gym City series a few days ago, there were plenty of technical difficulties on their end. We were unable to get a live stream up and going. So apologies on that end, but we are very glad to have everything working fine back home, as you're able to watch the Sasquatch fire back. So the Horseheads had to make a little over a 3-hour trip, as Biggerstaff is going to lift that one right to right fielder, who is able to make the catch. Springer thinks about taking third, but heads back to second. And that is Bradley Fleener, who makes the catch over and right for out number 2. And now Bryson Hoyer, the last hope to drive Springer across here in the second inning. So the Squatch are hitting .262 collectively at the plate. That average has just continued to skyrocket. Obviously, we're looking at a very tough start to the season for the Sasquatch offense. They were batting way below 200. They have since made up for it. Hoping to push that average up again tonight, score plenty of runs. So 1 on, 2 outs. The 0-1 pitch to Bryson Hoyer. And now finds the zone for strike 2. As we said, Nelson is not afraid. He is not going to pitch around the zone. He is going to attack you directly, and the Sasquatch hitters are starting to see more and more of it. He dares him to put it in play. And it has not worked in his favor a lot of the time this season, but so far tonight, he still has that scoreless lead. And Hoyer fouls it off. Springer tried to steal third, but heads back to second base. Only 1 hit so far for Nelson. It's only the second inning, obviously. But the Squatch are still getting comfortable, still getting accustomed to the pitching style of Brady. And that one is going to be lined over into left center. That was going to find a gap. Springer easily trots around to home plate, and Bryson Hoyer with 2 outs gets the RBI stand-up double. This game is tied right back where we started, 1-1. All thanks to Hoyer. As we now bring up Bailey Bordas, so that's more like it. 2 hits for the Sasquatch, both of them here in the second inning. And we don't want to stop here. Let's take this lead. Bordas, the designated hitter tonight. Bryson was batting .255 coming into action tonight, and that'll only increase his average. He has been great, a great addition. One of those guys who came in a couple of weeks ago for the Sasquatch. Really turned this team's energy around. And you can see why with plays just like that. There's going to be a quick mound visit now between Flashberg and Nelson. And we've had Bailey in the booth many times before, whether it be for a post game after a night where he has just been drilling the ball, or even just to come hang out with us on a day off. As Bordas is another California kid, plays at Cal State University Dominguez Hills, but will be transferring to Cal State University. As we're trying to look for it, trying to remember what he told me it was. Monterey Bay, that's it. One of the top 10 Division II schools for baseball. We wish Bailey the best of luck. We have enjoyed having him on the team so far this year. He has been great. Runner on second, 2 outs for Bailey now. The 0-1. And he is going to pop that one out of play. Davis Carr in the on-deck circle. So now an 0-2 count for Bordas. And the pitch. Just outside. Tried that breaking ball. Goes right to the outside of the zone. So Nelson has been everything as advertised so far. He is not going to throw many balls. He is making the Sasquatch put it in play. Luckily, Bryson Hoyer did just that a few minutes ago. It is a tied ball game at 1. Outside once more, ball 2. Wouldn't mind Bordas getting on to make way for Davis Carr, who has started to find his bat as well. In fact, Bordas and Carr are 2 of those guys we've talked about who have really started to improve at the plate. They were looking for that offensive momentum, and they found it. As Bordas has been fouling off pitch after pitch, staying alive in this count. So Brady, not the only one of the Casper Horseheads pitchers who have struggled so far to start the year. Their entire pitching staff is pitching to a 7.64 ERA. And the 2-2 now. And Bordas is going to pull down softly into play to the shortstop. And the throw over to first in time. As Bailey Bordas is down on his luck. Tried to beat out the throw, but unfortunately unable to. Great throw from the shortstop. Chris Burke takes care of business, but not before the Squatch put up a run of their own. It is all tied up at 1. We're looking to improve on that. Colby Schiffer taking the mound once more here on the top of the third. We'll be right back with you on this Monday afternoon.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice play.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Schiffer versus Garcia to start the top of the third, as Garcia gets way under that one. A high pop fly over to Davis Carr in left field. Carr able to make the catch for a one pitch out there, as Colby Schiffer is very grateful for that. He'll take more of those. Keep that pitch count down. So one out now in the top of the third inning. And that is going to bring up Braden Morrow, the second baseman, or the third baseman, excuse me. Rounds taken inside part of the zone for strike one. So after a bit of trouble in the first inning, allowing a single and a double with 2 outs, Colby Schiffer has stepped back into his own. Seems to be a lot more comfortable on the mound. You can never underestimate the impact that it has going as a bullpen guy and immediately being told you will be a starter. It is a different feel altogether. And obviously I don't know that because I am the guy talking in the booth. I'm not necessarily on the mound. But I've heard it from plenty of pitchers in the dugout. They told me it's a different feel for sure, as that one has popped up high into left field again. Davis Carr trying to track it down, and does. Loses his hat in the process. But the first 2 outs hit high out towards left field, and Carr able to retire both of those hitters. So now Bradley Fleener stepping in. Would not hurt to have a quick 1-2-3 inning here for Mr. Colby Schiffer. And that one is going to be hit out towards right center. That's Bryson Hoyer. Able to cut it off, but that is another 2-out single there from Fleener. That is going to be a 2-for-2 night for Bradley so far. That brings up Logan Conklin. If you remember a few moments ago, Fleener was the one who had that RBI double to drive in Braden Morrow in the first inning. And now he sits over at first. And a 2-out pitch, low and away, a 1-0 count. So we just mentioned Davis Carr over in left field. If you've been tuning in with us at all this year, you might remember that Davis is usually seen behind the plate. But with a new pitching staff that we welcome with open arms, they have been great so far. Very happy to have them. It's a bit of a different lineup. We're not complaining. Seeing what all these guys can do. Very entertaining to see Davis in the outfield. In fact, the other night we had Wyatt Adams, one of our relievers from the bullpen, playing in right field in the 9th inning. He even got an at-bat, so that was interesting. 1-1, 2 on, 2 out, and 1 on. As Conklin went around, unable to hold back there, it is a 1-2 count. And Schiffer's pitch fouled off right past the Sasquatch dugout. So the Horseheads have been busy so far. The 1-2 in the dirt. And we're talking a little bit about that Sasquatch batting average. The Horseheads are hitting .284. So it has not been the offense that has been probably the major issue. More of that is resolved in the pitching staff for Casper. Conklin holds off of that one. Count runs full. But still, there have been a few offensive struggles for the Horseheads. They have not shown it so far tonight. Already 4 hits through 2 2/3 innings. The payoff pitch, and that one is going to be lined, and Gabe Springer right off the glove. Made a dive and a very good play there. And Johnny McHenry fires back to Ryan Bachman as the runner on second got way off the base, had to slide back, and Bachman thought he applied the tag in time, but he did not. Second base ump is going to rule the runner safe. Runners on first and second now with still 2 outs. Huge play there from Gabe to make the lunging attempt over at third base. Able to get a piece of the ball and keeps it in front of him so it doesn't go over into left field. And that would have definitely advanced the runner at least to third. But now this does bring up Brian McClellan, the designated hitter, with 2 outs and 2 on. Schiffer does not want to see any more drama with 2 outs. That has been when the Casper Horseheads have done their best work so far. And Colby's been throwing them good stuff all game. Just good pieces of hitting by the Horseheads so far. 1 ball, no strikes. And there we go. A 1-1 count. Schiffer has 3 strikeouts. We'd love to make McClellan number 4 on the night. And that one is going to be right off. The bad Springer fires over to second and decides, oof. Springer was looking over at Ryan Bachman, and that is going to score 2 runs. A crazy play there. Springer was unsure whether to throw across the diamond to first in time, made the decision at third to throw to Ryan Bachman over at second, and 2 runs score. After that one was thrown past Bachman at second base into center field shallow. Bryson Hoyer has to cut it off, but not before 2 runs score. So an error there and some really hard luck for Colby Schiffer. Both of those runs cross. And Brian McClellan stays over there at first base on a hit that should have been an out. A lot went wrong right then. So that'll bring up Chris Burke. The Casper Horseheads now have a 2-run lead. They have not gone away with 2 outs. And now Chris Burke stepping back in with a runner on first to McClellan and still 2 outs. So just the same as in the first when the Horseheads scored 1 run with 2 outs. They have now scored 2 in the third with 2 outs. And that will be tagged in error by Springer. So 3 runs on now 5 hits for the Horseheads, who have been very aggressive early. I wonder what the Horseheads logo really stems from. I'm wondering where the name comes from at least. I might be looking at some history. But definitely the most interesting name out of any of the teams in the Independence League. As Chris Burke pulls that one way foul down the left field line. So Colby has to recuperate here and get back into the groove. And the 1-2 as Burke is going to send that one directly to Davis Carr in left field. He gets under it and makes the catch for out number 3. So an error scores 2 Horsehead runs, but still just a 2-run deficit for the Squatch, able to hopefully make up from it. Looking to get right back into things and drive some runs across in the bottom of the third. We'll be right back with you. Casper on top, 3-1. You're watching Squatch Baseball.
For summer at the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City. Trade-in values are at an all-time high, and there's never been a better time to buy. With over 400 vehicles on location, you're guaranteed to find the right ride to take you into summer. And while you're here, make sure to sign up to win some great summer gear, like a Rice Honda side-by-side, Black Hills Fireplace Traeger smoker, a variety of gift certificates, and more. Come by and check out a great selection of vehicles and summer gear at any of the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City and at menholdsummer.com.
A 3-1 lead for our friends from Casper, Wyoming. The Horseheads are up by 2 as we head to the bottom of the third. Come on, guys. Let's get this game going. The Sasquatch drove across 1 in the bottom of the second, looking to add on to that here against Brady Nelson. As Nelson now faces off against Davis Carr. And Carr is going to get under that one and lift it into shallow left. And Kenny Garcia able to make the catch for out number 1. So now that lineup card rolls over for the first time tonight. Nelson has been having a pretty easy outing so far. As we've mentioned, he is a strike-heavy pitcher. Not going to work too much around the zone. He makes the Sasquatch offense do all the work. And so far, the Squatch have only been able to drive 1 across. A 2-run error a few moments ago was responsible for the 3-1 lead. The Squatch looking to fight back and make up for it now, as Nicky Winterstein is stepping back in. Takes that one in the zone for strike 1. And they're going to call time for just a minute. The Horseheads are 2-8 to start the second half. It has been a rough stretch for them so far this season. They have a very small roster. It is something we've noticed, as only 2 guys who are not pitchers are on the bench for them. As that one is going to hit Nicky. Never feels good, but he is going to take first base with 1 out on the hit by pitch. So that brings up Ryan Bachman now. So let me rephrase that. There are 11 guys on the Casper Horseheads roster who are not pitchers. And obviously 9 of the 11 have to start each night. So there are only 2 guys left over in that dugout. A lot different story than the Sasquatch team right now. We are at a great depth so far. We have lost a few guys here and there. We've said goodbye to some of our favorites. Cam Hoyland a few days ago, Carson Green, and a few others that will come and go, just as any team does during the summer ball season. But still a very dangerous team either way for the Sasquatch. No balls, 1 strike now to Ryan. With Winterstein over at first base, Ryan takes a big hack at that one for strike 2. So after the 5-1 homestand just a few days ago and losing 2 out of 3 to the Bison away, we are now 6-4 in our last 10. And the Horseheads, as we mentioned earlier, are determined to get a win tonight in Black Hills Energy Stadium. We hope that does not happen, but they are playing well. They're on a 5-game losing streak, and they're looking to turn things around. So the 0-2 count to Brady Nelson. Nelson works pretty slow on the mound. Takes his time. The 0-2, Winterstein's going to try to steal, and Bachman is going to foul it out of play. So that means that Nicky heads back to first. Only 2 hits and 1 run for the Sasquatch, but we forget that it is only the bottom of the 3rd. Plenty of baseball left to be played. We're just so used to the Sasquatch offense treating us with so many runs early on in these games. And now Nicky going to head back to first, smiling over there. He was just a few feet off the first base bag, but Nelson is keeping an eye on him. 1 on, 1 out, and 0-2 count to the Bachman. And the pitch upstairs for ball 1. Starting to get a little bit of a breeze here. We will take anything we can get. A beautiful night for baseball. We hope that you are joining us, whether it be on the live stream or here at the stadium. We're going to have a very fun night tomorrow in Game 2 against the Horseheads, as that one is way inside, head high at Ryan. Ball 2. But tomorrow is Christmas in July. And that'll be fun. We hope to see you out here. We mentioned earlier it's a weird part of the season, as this is only going to be a 2-game set against the Horseheads before we head out for a long 5-game road trip against the Pioneers of Western Nebraska. The 2-2. And that one off of the catcher, Nicky Winterstein, able to take second base. Count runs full on Ryan now as Nicky is in scoring position. it's crazy just how far this summer season has flown by. Feels like just yesterday we were starting the series against the Big Sticks here at home. And now we're about 3/4 of our way through the summer schedule. The payoff pitch to Bachman, and he is going to hit that one out deep towards right center. Rowe cuts it off and makes the catch for out number 2, and Nicky stays put at second base. So a good battle there between Ryan and Nelson. But Brady gets the upper hand on that at bat. 2 outs now. Nicky still staying over there at second base for Johnny McHenry. Johnny looking to put it in play. So another quick mound visit as Nelson and Dane behind the plate were trying to talk over what they want to do. A single would likely score Winterstein in this situation. It is a 2-run lead for the Horseheads. And the 2-out pitch to Johnny. And that one's low, 4-1. So the Horseheads are just coming off of a 3-game series in which they were swept by the Nebraska Prospects. We saw them earlier on in the season, and McHenry is going to hit that one way high, a mile high. All right, to the center fielder Rowe for out number 3. Tucker able to make the catch as he heads back to the dugout. And even with Nicky Winterstein over at first with 1 out, the Sasquatch unable to cash in on that opportunity. We head to the top of the 4th as the Horseheads hold on to that 3-1 lead. Hopefully not for long. We'll be right back with you. You're watching Squatch Baseball on our YouTube live stream.
It's not one of those. It's hidden somewhere. It's a little tree's air freshener.
So we're gonna find an air freshener. It's not that one. We gotta go find it. It's not the one that I'm about to give you. Has anybody found it yet? Might be a good idea. Maybe Samson is around here.
Yeah, where's Samson?
Samson would be a good one to help. Samson, where are you? He's probably looking for the air pressure.
Oh, here he comes, here he comes.
Oh, Samson, where have you been?
Simon, do you know where it is?
We need your help, Samson. I have a feeling Samson might know where it is.
And we got a winner!
Something else will be back. A yellow note of some sort.
So the bottom of the lineup due up for the Horseheads in the top of the 4th inning. Colby Schiffer back out as he's had a bit of bad luck. There was a 2-run error in the top of the 3rd that allowed Casper to take that 3-1 lead. And Schiffer is looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning if applicable here. As he's pitching to Ethan Rose now, the first baseman. Rose fouls that one back. And keep in mind that all 3 of these runs came across with 2 outs. Casper's done a good job of staying in the counts. A 2-1 count now to Ethan Rose from Saginaw Valley University. This is his 32nd game for Casper, batting 196. And that one's a bit outside. Ball 3. A 3-1 count now to Rose. And the pitch. That one's going to be grounded over to Ryan Bachman. Few hops, and he throws over to Clark for out number 1. So a quick out number 1 for Colby Schiffer. And that's going to turn it over to Dane Flashberg, the catcher. So talking about just how critical that error was in the third, it's a little reminiscent of just some of the careless mistakes that the Sasquatch had in Game 3 against the Bison last night. I said it earlier, 7 errors in one game, not a recipe to any sort of success. I think anyone could tell you that. The Sasquatch know that. Looking to play a lot cleaner brand of ball tonight. And that was really the first time we've seen them struggle on the defensive end in a long time. Really since the first few weeks of the season. One ball, one strike now to Dane Flashberg. For strike 2. Dane Flashberg, that is a pretty cool name if I can say so myself. Flashberg plays at the University of Redlands. And he is going to be down on strikes as he was caught looking. And that is going to be the 4th strikeout of the night for Colby Schiffer. There it is. So now that lineup card rolls over once more for Casper and Tucker Rowe, the center fielder. And Colby, knowing and wanting more than anyone else to have a 1-2-3 inning here, does not want any more trouble with 2 outs. That is when the Casper Horseheads have been at their best. And Rowe went around on that one, fouled it off. Tried to hold back, but obviously did not. So 5 hits on 3 runs. Or 3 runs on 5 hits, excuse me. And now a 2-1 count. The pitch to Rowe, and he is going to send that one deep out towards center field, but not deep enough. Bryson Hoyer able to make the catch. So 3 up, 3 down. About as easy as you could ask for Colby Schiffer. That's more like it. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Squatch looking to get a few runs across, tie this game, maybe take the lead. Why not? Here at Black Hills Energy Stadium on this Monday night. The Horseheads still have that 3-1 lead. Hopefully not for long. We'll be right back with you. You're watching Squatch Baseball.
Your hands, let it take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way?
We are back here at it in the bottom of the 4th inning. The heart of the order up for your Spearfish Sasquatch. Harrison Clark, followed by Gabe Springer and Drew Biggerstaff. Does not get much easier after Clark, as Brady Nelson takes the mound for his 4th inning of work. But so far, Nelson has stepped up to the challenge for the Horseheads. He has been pretty impressive so far, only surrendering 2 hits to this point. Or excuse me, yeah, just 2 hits. Thought I was wrong on that for a second, but I was correct. And the 1 run for the Squatch crossed in the bottom of the 2nd. As Nelson has been getting ahead of counts. Clark brushes that one off as that pitch was outside. A 1-1 count now. And Nelson's 1-1. That one is going to be low and away. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Nelson's last few appearances have been out of the pen from what it appears. He's had 10 appearances altogether on the season, only 5 games started. This will be his 6th on the year. And as we mentioned, he was last seen in a 10-0 loss for the Horseheads against the Big Sticks up in North Dakota. Gave up 3 earned through 2 innings pitched and 5 hits. Nelson really likes to rely on his infield defense. Not afraid of contact. The 3-1. As we see it again, fires that one into the zone for strike 2. Count runs full. He has only walked 18 batters. Which in summer ball especially, no matter who you are, is a pretty impressive feat. Through 31 2/3 innings. And the 3-2. Harrison's going to foul that one off again. The battle will continue. There is no one in the Spearfish or the Casper bullpens right now. Both coaches leaving it up to their starters. So we'll try this full count again. Hopefully it works in favor of Clark. Wearing his neon green batting gloves. And the payoff pitch. And Clark is going to send that one out towards right field. And that looks like Fleener is able to take care of it. Gets under it in time for out number 1. A good battle there. So Gabe Springer now stepping in with 1 out and nobody on. Nelson is leaving it up to the Sasquatch bats to put it in play and square some up. Unfortunately for us, they have been unable to do so for the most part so far. Nelson has had a good day. Producing a lot of pop flies, a few ground balls here and there, not much hard contact. Which can be taken as a surprise, especially with the way that we have been swinging the bat the past few weeks. And the 1-0 pitch now to Gabe. It's taken in for strike 1. So we will see what Gabe can do as he sends that one out deep out towards left center, right at the track, and the center fielder not able to get it, as that one is going to get right behind him. Springer's going to try for 3, and the relay is going to be bobbled. That is going to be a 1-out triple for Gabe Springer. A great effort there from Tucker Rowe to try to get to it in time. Made a diving attempt, gets right past him. As both Rowe and Kenny Garcia in left field both had a lot of ground to cover, unable to do so. And Gabe Springer finds a gap, puts it in play. And now Drew Biggerstaff with a golden opportunity to score Springer and cut into this 3-1 deficit. We've seen a few hit high into the outfield, but that was the first one truly hit very well. Gabe Springer turned into it. So now 3 hits for the Sasquatch, hopefully 4 next after Biggerstaff. So now the 0-1 to Biggerstaff. Low and in the dirt once again. 1 run on 3 hits and an error for the Sasquatch. Gabe Springer was tagged with that error in the 3rd, and now he's looking to make up for it by getting to home plate. 2-1 now. As Nelson's really been favoring that outside edge. His last few pitches haven't been as close. Now the pitch again. Can't find the zone. As we said, Drew Biggerstaff, if he were to get on base, is followed by Bryson Hoyer, who is the lone RBI man tonight for the Sasquatch. I wouldn't feel much more comfortable facing him with runners on 1st and 3rd if I were the pitcher. And Biggerstaff is going to send that one way high into space as it is coming back down for the shortstop. Chris Burke able to make the catch for out number 2. So now Nelson only an out away from getting out of a little bit of a jam here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hats off to him to this point. You have to give him credit. After a few shaky starts here and there, Brady Nelson is having a convincing game through 3 2/3 innings. We'll see what Hoyer can do. Fastball fired in for strike 1. So now Springer on 3rd, 2 outs. And in the dirt goes that pitch for an even count at 1. Another great crowd tonight as we are deep into this summer season. We love seeing everyone make it out to the park. It has been fun so far this year. And it has been my pleasure to be able to call these games. 1 ball, 1 strike, Springer on 3rd, and 2 outs. And now Hoyer down to his last strike. We'll see if he can have any magic up his sleeve. We've talked about Bryson a couple of times from Paso Robles, California. Plays at Loyola Marymount University as well, alongside Colby Schiffer. The 1-2. And Bryson is going to send that one out towards right field, just foul. way down the right field line. Looked like there was potential for it to stay fair until it kept going deeper and started curling to the right. But the right fielder, Bradley Fleener, was not fooled. Just sat there and watched that one go right by. So now the 1-2, and Bryson is going to pop that one up. That is going to be plenty of room as Nelson calls it off right next to the mound for out number 3. So Gabe, with one out, is able to get a triple, but unable to come across home plate after 2 pop-ups back-to-back from Biggerstaff and Hoyer. Leave us with no runs scored in the bottom of the 4th. We head to the top of the 5th, and still a 3-1 ball game in favor of the Casper Horseheads in game 1 of this matchup. Colby Schiffer back out on the mound for the 5th. We'll be right back with you. Casper on top 3-1.
All Balanced Bookkeeping, located right here in Spearfish, is your go-to place for all of your bookkeeping needs. Serving Spearfish for over 2 years, we have over 30 years of bookkeeping experience and can take care of any office tasks, large or small. Contact us now to get in touch with one of our many experienced bookkeepers.
So back here in the top of the 5th, Colby Schiffer out for another inning, facing off against Kenny Garcia, the left fielder. And that one finds the zone for strike 1. So Kenny Garcia followed by Braden Morrow and Bradley Fleener. The 2, 3, 4 guys for this Horsehead lineup have been doing most of the damage so far today. Getting on base and getting across. The 0-2 now, and Garcia's going to line that one right to Springer over at third. Gabe trying to rush it and unable to make the charge and throw. So that is going to be a leadoff single, infield single for Kenny Garcia. And that one was hit hard. Not an easy play for Springer to make. So make that 6 hits now for Casper. They are laying it all out there. So far through 4 innings. A 2-run lead, and they are looking for more. Braden Morrow just fouled that one down first baseline. And as some of our viewers who are watching, who are Horsehead fans, have mentioned, Braden Morrow now on a 16-game hitting streak. Wow, as that one is going to be grounded to McHenry. McHenry to Bachman, and he's going to try to throw to first for that 6-4-3 double play. And that's going to take care of Garcia and Morrow. And now a quick 2 outs That'll bring up Bradley Fleener, the right fielder. Has to feel good for Colby to get that. A huge ground ball out that eventually turned double play. And that one's upstairs for ball one. Fleener is 2 for 2 on the night, batting .311 on the season. And he is going to pop that one high as the left fielder Carr racing in on it, making the catch for out number 3. So after a quick infield leadoff single, a tailor-made double play followed by that pop out into left field for Carr to make the grab. It's about as easy of an inning as you can have for Colby Schiffer. We head to the bottom of the 5th, looking to turn this game on its head and take this lead right back. We'll be right back with you in just a few minutes. Casper still on top, 3-1.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. Do you know the locals' choice for gaming excitement? It's the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. With new games arriving every month, our selection of slot machines is the freshest in town. You can always find a game with our card tables open 24 hours a day. And parking is free and easy at the Lodge, with the area's largest free parking only steps away from our front door. Enjoy spacious and comfortable gaming at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice.
So the Horseheads have come into town. So far, they hold a 2-run lead over your hometown Spearfish Sasquatch. It is a 3-1 ball game headed to the bottom of the 5th. Bailey Bordas and company are hoping to change that narrative just in a few minutes, as the 8-9-1 hitters are up, and Bordas facing off again against Brady Nelson. And Nelson fires in for strike one. He has been around the zone all night, if not completely inside it. He has been attacking these Sasquatch hitters directly and might be catching him a bit off guard. Swing and a miss there. Big hack from Bailey. The Sasquatch are a very patient offense at the plate. They will take their walks. But with Nelson just firing strike after strike, it's a bit of a different story. The 0-2, just a bit outside, just off the plate for ball one. Davis Carr on deck. Bordas looking to get on. Only 3 hits and 1 run for the Squatch to this point. It has been a very good pitcher's duel. And they 1-2, and Bordas is going to send that one out towards the right field. And Bradley Fleener coming in a couple of steps, makes the catch for out number 1. You might be saying a pitcher's duel, 3 runs for the Horseheads. Well, Colby Schiffer had a bit of bad luck. He's only had 1 earned run, and the other 2 runs that came across in the top of the 3rd were off of an error. So both pitchers to this point having pretty impressive outing. Colby Schiffer for the Sasquatch, only giving up 6 hits and 1 earned run through 5 innings, striking out 4. And Nelson has struck out 2 and only allowed 3 hits and 1 run over 4 1/3. As he is now pitching to Davis Carr. This is officially Nelson's longest outing since June 11th. He has been on it today. 1 ball, no strike to Carr. Just outside for ball 1. So Davis has found a little bit of mojo at the plate. A couple of days ago, in fact, in game 1, that was the big Sasquatch win over the Gym City Bison. He hit a home run, absolutely launched one. So he's found a bit of power back in his bat. Wouldn't mind to see a missile right here. Or just get on base. Nicky Winterstein's on deck. You feel good about your chances there. As Nelson is now behind 3 balls, 1 strike to the 9-spot hitter Carr. And that is going to be the first walk of the night for Brady Nelson. He's been in a couple of 3-1 counts, but has fired back to at least force it to be full. But finally, after 4 1/3, is able to walk Davis Carr. And that's the way to get the inning started. We will take that. Davis taking his base in time for the top of the lineup to roll back over. Winterstein followed by Bachman and Johnny McHenry if we get to it. I hope we do. So Carr now on first base, a few feet off the bag. And Nelson watching back over, ready for his first pitch again to Winterstein. Nicky fouls it right back against the protective netting. As we have a few Horsehead fans in attendance tonight at the park. Always love to see that, the dedication of the other team, making their travels to the opposing home park. And now the 0-1 to Winterstein, takes that one low and inside. And Carr's going to have to be very careful over at first. We were looking at him earlier, Dane Flashberg. In between innings, we realized he has a cannon of an arm behind the plate. And we have not seen, when the Sasquatch have gotten on base, they have not been very aggressive as we usually see. Might be a good heads-up tip of advice that they noticed earlier on and decided to play it pretty safe. As Nicky's going to line that one into left field, right past the third baseman. Davis Carr is going to stop over at second, and Winterstein with his first hit of the night, make him 1 for 2. As he takes first base, runners on first and second, 1 out, and Ryan Bachman. Come on, Ryan, just turn on one here. Lift one over the wall, and we're up by 1. Easy as that, right? As it is a very important thing to note, every win matters here in the second half of this season. The Squatch are currently leading the division in the second half of play with that 7-4 record, whereas the Horseheads are struggling a bit more, a 2-8 record, looking to turn their season around. So with the Big Sticks winning the first half of the season, even if they came back and won the second half with the best record, as long as the Squatch have a better record in the second half than the Canyon County Spuds, we should be okay. We are hoping every game matters, as the stakes will always be high. Every team trying to make their claim into the postseason, which starts on August 1st. But why have to rely on other teams to fall when you can just do all the work yourself. That's what the Squatch motto is. And they have been doing plenty of great work so far, looking to continue that success tonight with a win against the Horseheads. And they have their work cut out for them. As Nelson now about to work on his 73rd pitch of the night. Or excuse me, 82nd. So that definitely makes a bit of a difference. Ryan's going to foul that one out of play. And now Nelson in his first true bit of a jam here in this game. We'll see what Bachman can do. A great situational hitter with bases, with runners on bases, as that one is going to be a pop fly out way into shallow right for out number 2. Bradley Fleener able to take care of it. And now Johnny McHenry stepping back in. The past few games we've struggled a bit offensively, especially in games 2 and 3, as well as errors against the Gem City Bison. And the last thing we want to do is revert back to those struggles we had early in the season, where we would load bases with nobody out and be unable to drive a single runner across. That's perhaps one of the most irritating things as a baseball team. And with runners on first and second and only one out just a few moments ago, you don't want to waste this opportunity. But now 2 outs after the Ryan Bachman pop fly. And now Johnny looking to capitalize here. Takes that one inside. One ball, no strikes for Brady Nelson. There is beginning to be a little action in the Horsehead bullpen. No one seems to be actively warming up, but they do have some bodies there. Johnny fouls that one out. So 24 strikeouts for Brady Nelson through his season so far. And he has now gone 36 innings. So as we said, does not rely on the strikeout. Relies heavily on soft contact. And he has had a pretty good night in that department so far. The Squatch have only been able to drive one across. So 2 on, 2 outs to Johnny. And the 1-1, he's going to send that one way out towards right field, and that one is gone, no doubt about it. Johnny McHenry finally finds the power here at Black Hills Energy Stadium, and the Squatch have their first lead of the night. A 4-3 ball game now, and we have that lead. That has to feel good for Johnny. He had been searching for that home run here at home all season, and no better time than then. Down to our last out in the 5th, and Johnny able to lift that one. Turns on it way out towards right field, and Bradley Fleener only took a couple of steps. He knew off the bat it was gone. So Nelson, through 4 2/3 innings, had been daring these Sasquatch hitters to turn on one, and Johnny finally did the trick. 3 runs for the Sasquatch in the bottom of the 5th, and a 4-3 ball game. So now Harrison Clark stepping back in. We wouldn't mind an insurance run here or there. And Clark is going to send that one way high, right on the infield. The shortstop is going to call it off. Chris Burke makes the catch for out number 3, but not before 3 runs cross. After the 3-run drive shot from Johnny McHenry over the right field wall to take a 1-run lead. Squatch are having a different type of game right now, and we look to protect this lead headed to the top of the 6th. Folks, it is a brand new ball game. We are glad you're here with us. Squatch look to keep this lead. We'll be right back. You are watching Squatch Baseball on our YouTube live channel. And folks, we are finally back. We do apologize for the absence of the mic and a few issues for just a few moments, but we are back here in the top of the 6th inning, as that is going to be the end of the day for Colby Schiffer, and we have a new guy on the mound. And when I say new, I mean brand new. We have an entirely new group of guys coming in for the Sasquatch in terms of pitching staff, as Conklin is going to take a leadoff walk. And we are talking about this new guy, David Dielman, and what is his first appearance out of the pen for the Sasquatch this season. And a big hack there for strike 1, as Brian McClellan, the DH, is back in. That was a leadoff walk to Logan Conklin. And now with a 4-3 lead, David Dielman is looking to preserve it. But with that wild pitch there, gets past Biggerstaff. Conklin smartly takes second base. 2 balls, 1 strike. So right off the bat, what you were seeing is that David Dielman throws hard. And that's some good stuff right there. We'll take more of that. Brian McClellan, strike 2. So Johnny McHenry just absolutely belted one a few minutes ago. 3-run homer in the bottom of the 5th. And the Squatch, who were down 3-1, now have a 1-run lead. It is a 4-3 ball game, and we're looking to keep it there. And if any changes at all, we hope it will be in the Sasquatch favor, as they can add on a few more runs. As that one was fouled off right next to Chris Burke in the on-deck circle, and he's just sitting there dancing. He doesn't seem to mind it too much. And that one was very close to him. So the 1-2 to McClellan with Conklin on second. And McClellan goes around. What a pitch. As Brian is going to be retired, he went around for strike 3. And that was the beer batter on the night, Brian McClellan. We did not know that until now. But whenever the beer batter here strikes out, everyone here in the stadium gets $1 off their beer. So thank you, Brian. And here is now Chris Burke, who was almost hit just a few moments ago over in the on-deck circle off that foul ball. The 1-0. Big cut there from Burke. Strike 1. So with Conklin in scoring position over at second base, David Dielman going to do everything he can. As Burke is going to hit that one into shallow right. Winterstein able to track it down for out number 2. So one more out here in the top of the 6th for David Dielman. So with Dielman coming in, that means that Colby Schiffer went 5 innings of 3-run, only 1 earned run, and 4 strikeout ball. So a pretty decent night. Obviously a 2-run error is what let the Horseheads have that lead early on in the game. But the Squatch have fired back, and now Colby Schiffer will not be tagged with a loss either way. So 2 outs and a runner on second base, as Ethan Rose is now batting. And Dielman's 1-1. Taken outside for ball 2. And a huge spot for that Sasquatch offense. Brady Nelson was absolutely having himself a day so far through 5 innings until the final out of that 5th, where he gave up the 3-run bomb. So we'll see what they decide to do for the Horseheads. Will they bring out a new arm? They're going to let Brady go out, as that one is going to be taken inside for strike 2. This count has run full. And Ethan Rose, for a second, thought that he would be taking his base. And now the payoff pitch is going to be in the dirt for ball 4. So now runners on first and second. That's going to bring up Dane Flashberg. So very important wins throughout the rest of the season. Every game matters. Every game is just as critical as the next. And both teams understand that. The Squatch trying to reach into the playoffs, and the Horseheads fighting to get back into playoff contention. Still pretty early on in the second half of the season. But Casper will have to fight to keep up with the hot second half streak that the Sasquatch started out with. And that one is going to get away from Dealman and hit right on the back of Ethan Rose, or excuse me, of Dane Flashberg. So now bases are loaded. And that was a fastball way inside. Did not mean to hit Flashberg the way it did, but did not sound pretty from up here. So Dane will take first base. Bases juice now, 2 outs. And Tucker Rowe, the leadoff hitter, stepping back in. So no matter what happens, this Horsehead offense will not go away quietly. And there's going to be a quick mound visit to try to figure out how to handle Tucker Rowe. So Dealman in his first appearance with the Sasquatch. One thing off the bat that we can already tell is he has some filthy stuff. He's got some high heat. But now we're going to be able to see how he's able to work around a bases loaded situation with 2 outs to the Casper leadoff hitter. And with a 1-run lead for the Sasquatch, we hope that Tucker Rowe is the last batter we have to see in the 6th. As the sun is officially setting. And the stadium lights are starting to turn on. The first pitch to Tucker Rowe. Down the middle, 4, strike 1. Kenny Garcia for Casper on deck. And the 0-1. That was going to be low and away for ball 1. So Casper has been fighting bravely all night. 3 runs on 6 hits. And that one is going to get over the head of Clark and be lined over down the right field line, hugging right field line. Nicky Winterstein has to cut it off, but that is going to score 2 at least, as the Horseheads have that lead right back. Dane Flashberg over at third base as Tucker Rowe takes second. A 2-run double for the leadoff hitter, and Casper is trying to make that statement once more. It is now a 5-4 lead, and we're back like nothing ever happened. So we will have to face Kenny Garcia now. Wasn't a bad pitch there from Dealman. Just an even better piece of hitting from Tucker. And the 0-1, and that one is going to be kept in front of Biggerstaff. Great job of blocking that one. So Dealman about to work on his 25th pitch. Way upstairs, 4-2. You do not want Garcia to get this ball to drop. With runners on second and third, you want to keep this a 1-run ball game if you can. They call me Captain Obvious. That is why. So Dealman's 3-1, and that one is going to be fouled back. This count runs full. The dangerous hitting Braden Morrow in the on-deck circle, batting third. And Dealman's payoff pitch is going to be in the dirt. So now bases are loaded once again. As it looks like we have Drew Hetke warming up in the bullpen for the Sasquatch. I wish we could have some background on David Dealman, and I'm sure we will in the coming games. But for now, this is all we know about him, is that he throws hard and he is pitching here in the 6th. And he is in a bit of a sticky situation here with bases still loaded. 2 runs have crossed for the Horseheads here on the top of the 6th. And he still has to get through Garcia. Excuse me, not Garcia, Braden Morrow. So Morrow, 1 for 3, batting .381 on the year, 4 home runs, 20 runs driven in. That's a pretty impressive stat line. Dealman's 1-1, and that one is going to be grounded over to Johnny, and he is going to get on one knee, throw it over to Ryan Bachman for the 3rd and final out of the 6th inning. So 2 runs cross, and the Horseheads take this lead right back after Johnny McHenry's 3-run home run. It is a 5-4 ball game, but who's to say that we can't just turn this game right over again and take that lead right back from our friends from Casper, Wyoming. It is a 1-run affair headed to the bottom of the 6th. So the Horseheads have decided not to go away too easily here in this one. Game 1 of 2 versus our friends from Casper, Wyoming. They've made the little over 3-hour trip here to Spearfish tonight, and they currently have a 1-run lead. And the Sasquatch looking to get right back into it. Gabe Springer right off the edge of the bat. It's a shallow pop fly out towards left field for out number 1. As there is a new pitcher on the mound for the Horseheads. We're not necessarily sure who it is just yet. We'll be right back and have the information when we find out who the pitcher is on the mound. As we do not have number 1, the man on the mound on the roster. As there is a 2-0 count now to Drew Biggerstaff. And big cut there from Drew for strike 1. So a pop out and a left from Gabe Springer to start the bottom of the 6th. And now a 2-1 count with Mike Williams on the mound. There's his name. Big swing and a miss there from Drew again. Count runs even at 2. Bryson Hoyer in the on-deck circle. The Squatch fired back at the bottom of the 5th to take an eventual 4-3 lead after Johnny McHenry belted a 3-run shot over right field wall. And then with bases loaded just a few moments ago in the top of the 6th, Tucker Rowe laced a 2-run double. Now let the Horseheads take this lead right back from us. So it's been a bit of a game of cat and mouse so far. The payoff pitch, and Biggerstaff is going to line that one into right field for a 1-out single. To keep this inning alive, bringing it up for Bryson Hoyer. So now 6 hits and 4 runs for the Sasquatch. And the Horseheads have 5 runs on 7 hits. So Williams pitch now to Hoyer. Bryson holds back as that one was taken up high for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Outside for ball 2. Man, Biggerstaff has just been such a breath of fresh air. Coming in as one of the new catchers for the Sasquatch this season. He has been great behind the plate and up to bat. And Bryson leans into it, fouls it off for strike 1. So we hope that you'll join us tomorrow after another beautiful night of baseball here tonight. We're looking forward to another one tomorrow, as we will be having Christmas in July here at the park in Game 2. This is just the beginning of being able to see the Horseheads in action. In fact, this is the first time that we'll see a couple of teams in the second half. We will be seeing the Pioneers next week, or I guess technically this week now. It is Monday afternoon. The Western Nebraska Pioneers and the Casper Horseheads will be playing them a number of times before this season concludes. It's a bit crazy that we haven't seen them until now, because we've spent so many of these games playing either the Gym City Bison, the Big Sticks, you name it. But always fun to see a new face in town. And tonight it is the Horseheads. The 2-2 from Williams, and Hoyer is going to pop it up and just foul. So we'll get another attempt here. Bryson trying to put this one in play. So Biggerstaff over at first base. The sun has officially gone down here in Spearfish, South Dakota. It is a 2-2 count to Bryson Hoyer. Williams fires back over to first. Wants to keep Biggerstaff honest. So we will try again. And Williams not taking his chances with Drew. Gonna throw back to first once more. So a 2-game set here today and tomorrow on the 12th, before we make that long road trip to face against the Pioneers and who else? The Casper Horseheads. So we're getting in plenty of matchups in the next few weeks between both of these guys. And once we finish with the Casper Horseheads, we conclude the regular season with a 5-game homestand, all against the Big Sticks. The full count and a swing and a miss. Bryson Hoyer is taken care of as Williams throws a nice pitch, gracing right on the edge of the plate for strike 2. So now Bailey Bordas is the final hope to extend this inning and potentially tie this game. A lot of ball left to be played, but the Horseheads have been gritty tonight. 2 outs, 1 on, and Bailey is going to send down another high fly ball out to right field, and that is going to be Bradley Fleener to take care of it. So after a single from Biggerstaff, Williams is able to take care of business here in the bottom of the 6th and lay a big goose egg on the scoreboard. So we head to the top of the 7th. Still a 5-4 ball game. It has been all pitching for the most part tonight, with the exception of a few runs from both teams, but it has been a fun one. We're glad you're here joining us. Headed to the top of the 7th. The Horseheads up by 1.
And I got a little cousinly competition down here too. So we're going to place gummy worms on our contestant's forehead, and you have to get it into your mouth without using your hands. Alright, so face your cow. We've got Haley, Jonathan, and Ian down here today.
Are the worms alive? I think I see one move on.
Alrighty.
These are real worms, aren't they?
Ready?
These aren't gummy worms. These are real
Almost. Technical difficulties. And go.
sugar-covered real night crawlers right here. Well, they'll just crawl.
Ian's moving slowly but surely. So is Jonathan. Oh, we have a gummy worm thief.
Okay, we're running out of time. Hurry up, boys. Hurry up.
Ian's almost there. I think that might be a draw. Give it up for the cousins.
Wait for Casper and Bradley.
We have made it to the 7th inning of play here in Game 1 against the Casper Horseheads, as the bad guys have a 1-run lead to this point, a 5-4 ball game to the Horseheads' advantage, as Fleener is going to lift that one, and that is going to drop fair right down the left field line, and a great job of Carr from getting to it, and that is going to hold Bradley Fleener at first base. So a 1-pitch single there for Fleener, as he is now 3 for 4 on the night, only pushing up that batting average. The heart of the order for the Casper Horseheads has been impressive so far, as we now have the 5-hole hitter Logan Conklin stepping in. And Drew Hetke on the mound. Hetke has been marvelous, especially at home on the mound. The past few games we've seen him on the past 2 homestands, he's been lights out, throwing strike after strike. So you have to imagine that a leadoff single is not going to bother him too much. He's been able to work around some trouble here and there, and he has just found his stride. We hope he continues that here against Conklin, the 0-2. And a swing and a miss. The first strikeout of the night for Drew. Takes care of Logan Conklin. He is down on strikes, and Brian McClellan steps in. So the Sasquatch have to come back from a one-run lead. They've done that tonight already. And we're not too worried about our chances. We've already seen a few come from behind victories in the past few days, including games 2 and 3 at home against the Canyon County Spuds. Both of them walk-offs. Big cut there, 4-strike 2. I don't know what it is so far from Drew on the mound, but his pitches have just been superior. These opposing lineups have been able to catch up to what he has to offer. The 0-2, a little inside there. 4-1. So now 5 runs and 8 hits for the Horseheads. They have been very good all night. But Drew Hetke has sat down the last 2 consecutive batters in order via strikeout, as there was a punch out of Brian McClellan for out number 2. And that will bring up Chris Burke after a leadoff 1-pitch single there from Bradley Fleener. He's left to his own devices over at first base, with Chris Burke being the final hope for Casper here in the 7th. So 8:48 p.m. Mountain Time. Just a little over 2 hours since the start of tonight's game. Left field, Davis Carr is going to make a diving attempt, not able to get to it, and that one is going to get past the third baseman, and Drew Hetke, great job of being there. As the throw from Hoyer in center field, he backed up Davis Carr, made the throw to third. That gets past Springer, and if Hetke wasn't there next to the third base line, the runner from third might have scored. But either way, with 2 outs, the Horseheads are doing what they've been doing all night. And we hope that threat ends here as Ethan Rose steps in. Rose is 0 for 2, batting below the Mendoza line so far this season. He's batting 8th, with Fleener on third and Chris Burke on second base. That one's low, 4-1. And now the 1-0 from Hetke. Fired in 4, strike 1. So we hope to head to the 7th inning stretch with just a 1-run deficit to come from behind here. And the 1-1. That one is going to be lifted into shallow left. Davis Carr, McHenry both trying to get it off, and that was going to go out of the glove of McHenry. 2 runs are going to score. It is now a 7-4 ball game. As Carr looked like he was calling it off in shallow left, McHenry racing all the way back past the infield into Carr's territory and tries to make a play right above his head, but pops right out of McHenry's glove. So a lot more hard luck for now Hetke on the mound. That'll be scored as an error. The second of the night for the Sasquatch, and now 2 runs have scored here in the top of the 7th. A 3-run ball game now. Doesn't make it any easier to come back from. As Ethan Rose is now over at first. So now the 2 errors in the night's game have both accounted for 2 runs each, a total of 4. Could be a 4-3 ball game. But no need to call hypotheticals. This is baseball after all. Anything can happen. as Drew is now ahead 0-2 to the 9-hole hitter, Dane Flashberg. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's more like it. 3 strikeouts for Drew Hetke in the top of the 7th. A great inning for Drew, just a little hard luck as 2 runs crossed off of an error from Johnny McHenry. It is a 3-run ball game, but still another great inning of work and relief from Drew Hetke on the mound. We head to the 7th inning stretch. The Casper Horseheads extend their lead. A 7-4 ball game. Squatch looking to get right back into this thing. We'll be right back with you headed to the stretch. So welcome back here to Black Hills Energy Stadium as we are now in the bottom of the 7th. It has been a bit of a slow one tonight, as there's been a few runs scored on both sides. The Casper Horseheads have the advantage so far in Game 1. 7 runs for them on 9 hits. They've been lighting up the scoreboard here and there. Doesn't mean that the Squatch can't do a little bit of the same. 4 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors. Those 2 errors have been the name of the game so far, as 4 runs have crossed on both of those errors. But nothing that we can't come back from. We've been behind plenty of times. And with an offense like this, there is always a chance. Only 3 runs. We've seen much crazier in summer ball action. The 0-1-2 Davis Cars, the 9-1-2 hitters are up for the Sasquatch. So right after Carr is Nicky Winterstein, the leadoff hitter. I love seeing the top of this lineup. The ever-dangerous Sasquatch offense. Davis Carr looking to get on base for Nicky, the 0-2, but unable to, as he's down on strikes after a swing and a miss from the new pitcher for the Horseheads. It is going to be Anthony Santillanes with out number 1 via strikeout. So now 1 out here in the 7th, and Nicky Winterstein stepping back in. Still lots of ball left to be played, but you want to start spreading out a few runs here and there. So Santillanes on the mound as Winterstein fouls that one off. Anthony in his time that he is not on the mound, has had a pretty good time at the plate, batting .455 through his first 8 games started. As he is from Upland, California, and plays at Benedictine University. The 1-1. Nicky, big cut on that one, strike 2. So far tonight for the Horseheads, that 7.64 ERA has not been really shown. There's obviously been a bunch of struggles for this team in terms of pitching, but they have had a pretty solid night so far, only holding the hot Squatch offense to 4 runs. We hope there's more where that came from. A 1-2 from Santianes, and swing and a miss. Winterstein down on strikes, back-to-back strikeouts for Anthony as Ryan Bachman steps in with 2 outs in the 7th.
Here's number 24. We know this guy real well. Ryan Bachman.
So in terms of divisional standings coming into tonight, the second place team was the Badlands Big Sticks. They've already solidified their place in the playoffs. But the Canyon County Spuds are in hot pursuit, trying to take a better second half record over us. And if that were the case, then they would make the playoffs over the Sasquatch. We hope that is not what happens, as Ryan is going to send that one out deep towards center field. And Tucker Rowe able to take care of it for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Anthony Santianes. 2 strikeouts and a pop fly out towards deep center. Takes care of the Sasquatch in order. We head to the top of the 8th inning with a 3-run deficit to come from behind. Casper on top, 7-4.
Do you know the locals' choice for gaming excitement? It's the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. With new games arriving every month, our selection of slot machines is the freshest in town. You can always find a game with our card tables open 24 hours a day. And parking is free and easy at the Lodge, with the area's largest free parking only steps away from our front door. Enjoy spacious and comfortable gaming at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice.
So back here in the top of the 8th inning, the Sasquatch are having to fight from behind late into tonight's game against the Horseheads, and Drew Hetke's back on the mound after striking out the side in the 7th. But unfortunately, 2 runs did cross in that inning after an error, with 2 outs allowed 2 of those guys to score for the Horseheads. Been kind of the biggest point for tonight's matchup. The Squatch have only had 2 errors on the board, but both of those errors combined have made up for 4 of the Horsehead runs, as that one is going to be lined softly over to Harrison Clark. He calls off Hetke and steps on first base bag for out number 1. So that retires Tucker Rowe as Kenny Garcia steps in. We got the top of the lineup for the Horseheads right now. And Hecky fires that one inside. Garcia had to step back. But errors or not, you have to tip your caps to the Horsehead offense. They came in tonight with a mission, and to this point, they do have a 3-run lead in the 8th inning. Scoring 1 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the 6th, and then 2 in the 7th. They've done a great job of driving runs across, and most of them being with 2 outs in the inning. They have found a way to score. And the 2-1 outside. So ball 3. This is something you do not see from Drew Hetke hardly ever. We'll see if he's able to fire back into this count. Usually, when he gets behind early, he always finds a way to step back into the zone like he does right there. As Garcia fouls that one off, it is a full count. And the payoff pitch to Garcia, as Kenny is able to get just a piece of it. Sends it out foul once more. And the payoff pitch, and that was going to be grounded sharply down third base line, foul. And that one is going to be a one-hopper to Springer as Gabe fires over to the diamond for out number 2. Clark with the catch. And the battle between Hecky and Kenny Garcia is finally over there. 2 outs for Braden Morrow. That's where we like to see him. But just going back to the strike zone and the command of Drew Hetke, it is just unbelievable. Firing strike after strike, not being annoyed, not being taken off guard by continuous fouled off pitches by the opposing hitters. So Morrow 1 for 4 to this point. The man who is almost batting .400 for the Horseheads. And the pitch is going to be grounded softly to McHenry as he fields it, throws over to first for out number 3. So there we go, a 1-2-3 inning for Drew Hetke. He is having another great night on the mound. We love to see it, and hopefully the Squatch can put a few runs across to celebrate him. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Casper still ahead, 7-4. It is a 3-run ball game. Hopefully not for long. You're watching Squatch Baseball on our local YouTube live stream.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
For summer at the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City. Trade-in values are at an all-time high, and there's never been a better time to buy. With over 400 vehicles on location, you're guaranteed to find the right ride to take you into summer. And while you're here, make sure to sign up to win some great summer gear, like a Rice Honda side-by-side, Black Hills Fireplace Traeger Smoker, a variety of gift certificates, and more. Come by and check out a great selection of vehicles and summer gear at any of the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City and at menholdsummer.com.
The 3-4-5 guys up now for your Spearfish Sasquatch in the bottom of the 8th, and we are looking to put at least a couple of runs across. You don't want to save all of that offense for the 9th inning, as we are in the bottom of the 8th against the man on the mound for his 2nd inning of work, Anthony Santianes. And why not send him back out for another after he just had 2 strikeouts in the 7th inning? not giving up a hit. A 1-2-3 inning for Anthony, but we hope for a bit of different luck here in the 8th inning. As Johnny McHenry is up, the 0-1, taken low, 4-1. So if you recall, just a few innings ago in the bottom of the 5th, Johnny McHenry rocked a 3-run shot over the right field wall to take the lead. And he is going to hit that one into right field. As that one drops, a hard liner for a leadoff single. His hot night continues, and now Harrison Clark, a huge power bat in this offense. Stepping in would be a great opportunity. You don't have to score all 3 in this inning, but it would be a little bit easier going into the 9th to have a few across. And Harrison is a great situational at bat. He has proven to be that all season. Gabe Springer on deck. This is a great opportunity for the Sasquatch to get on base. And that one is taken in the zone for strike 1. As we're looking at Harrison, Clark is batting .267 so far this year, and a lot of this time he's been out with that hamstring injury, fighting his way back, and he hasn't seemed to struggle too much in that regard. But he finds himself quickly behind 0-2 to Anthony on the mound now. We hope he can put it in play. The 0-2. And that was going to be low, and Johnny's going to try to steal, and that was going to get right past Johnny, and he's going to try for 3. He's going to easily get there as the throw from the catcher gets past into center field. Almost took Johnny's head off, but he was wearing a helmet. The throw from the catcher probably grazed McHenry's jersey. But now he is in definite scoring position over at third base. All Harrison has to do is send it deep enough for a potential sac fly. We'll see if he can do so here. The 1-2. And Clark gets just a piece of it. So we will try again. 7 hits, 4 runs tonight for the Sasquatch. It is another beautiful night here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. We hope to see you tomorrow night for Game 2 and our final game of this 2-game set against the Horseheads. That is our first of this year. We usually play at least 3 games, but the schedule gets a little weirder as the second half goes on. So Clark again in the 1-2 count from Santianes, and he is going to line that one, and that's going to get past the shortstop. McHenry comes home, and Harrison Clark puts a run on the board. That's exactly what you need. Nobody out. Clark takes first base, an RBI single for Harrison. A 7-5 ball game now, and let's keep going. Just keep chipping away. That's all you have to do. And Gabe Springer, whose bat has been incredible the past few weeks, in a really important spot here in Game 1. A 7-5 game, and that one is going to be off the hands and drop over the head of the shortstop, as that one jammed Gabe, but the power behind his bat able to push it just over the head of Chris Burke. And now runners on first and second, and the potential winning run coming up in Drew Biggerstaff. It is a 2-run ball game. And Drew looking to do something big here. There's a little action now in the Horsehead bullpen, as a few pitchers have raced out there just in time. Looked like it was going to be Santianes' inning. But a line shot from Harrison, and then a bloop shot off the knuckles from Gabe Springer has the Squatch rolling. And Drew Biggerstaff looking to do something big here. And that one is going to be fouled off softly. Biggerstaff got just a piece of it and is quickly behind. No balls, 2 strikes. So in terms of pitching, this is the 4th game of the year for Anthony Santillanes on the mound for the Horseheads. And until tonight, he had that beautiful 0 ERA, but no longer, as Harrison Clark broke that streak, driving in Johnny McHenry just a few moments ago. And the 1-2 now to Drew, outside again. Through his first 3 appearances out of the bullpen, he pitched all 3 appearances scoreless. Now the 2-2 again to Biggerstaff. That one is going to be a called strike 3 on the inside part of the zone. Froze Drew Biggerstaff for out number 1. And that was a good pitch there. So now we'll see what Bryson can do. And he is going to ground that one and off the glove of Santillanes. Can't get it out of his glove in time. Has to throw to first. And it looks like the umps are going to review it. Looked like he was maybe out up here. They're going to have a quick review about it, as Hoyer chopped that one directly right to Santillanes on the mound. And Anthony tried to get the ball out of his glove to try to turn a double play. Unable to do so. Knew that his only option was over at first base. And so the umps make that a called out 2. They decided that was Bryson Hoyer was tagged out in time. Santillanes only had a split second to get the ball out of his glove as Bryson Hoyer was racing up first baseline. And threw it offline. But it was a great play from Ethan Rose to make a quick reaction, to glove it, and then turn to tag out Hoyer. So a bit of bad luck there. Out number 2 here in the bottom of the 8th. But if anything, runners both advance to second and third. And if Bailey Bordas is able to put one in play and get a ball to drop, this game will be tied. And Bailey's due tonight. And he is going to line that one into left field. That is going to score 1. Clark comes home, and that is going to race Gabe Springer around, but he is going to be tagged out at home plate. What a throw from Kenny Garcia in left field. Fielded it and didn't even take a one-hopper, just straight to the glove of Dane Flashberg. So Bordas able to drive one across, but Gabe Springer is tagged out in a bang-bang play right at home plate. So the Squatch still down by 1, but a lot better than a 7-4 ball game. We hope to have some better luck as we head to the top of the 9th. Squatch looking to walk it off a little later. But so far, the Horseheads still up by 1.
So they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me. And it blows my mind.
Hey, nice try.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
The top of the 9th inning. We welcome you back to Black Hills Energy Stadium as the Sasquatch are looking to take a comeback victory tonight in Game 1 against the Casper Horseheads. We've been battling back from behind all night. It is a one-run ball game after we've scored 2 in the 8th, as that is a one-hopper over to Gabe Springer. Makes the throw to first for out number 1. And that'll retire Bradley Fleener. As the heart of the order is now up for the Horseheads, Logan Conklin stepping in. We thought for a second this could be a tied ball game, but an absolutely great relay throw from Kenny Garcia in left field for Casper. It was just an absolute dart to home plate. Tagged out Gabe Springer as he was coming around from third. So it's still a one-run ball game. But we've seen plenty of walk-off magic here at this stadium time and time again. And that one is going to be lined sharply up the middle. McHenry tries to make a dive and grab, unable to on a tricky hop. And finds shallow center field for a one-out single. Logan Conklin is now 2 for 3 on the night. So make that 10 hits now for each team. It has been a hard-fought game so far. Both teams knowing what every regular season game implies. And not taking their foot off the gas pedal whatsoever. Drew Hecky back out for his 3rd inning of work. He has been great so far, allowing no earned runs. And we hope that Conklin does not go any further than first base. We want to keep this a one-run ball game headed to the bottom of the 9th. And that one is over the head of a crouched Brian McClelland. Or excuse me, not going to be McClelland anymore. Looks like he was pinch hit for. We'll see who it is out there now for him. As we do not have him on the official roster either. That's weird. And it's going to be DJ Heck stepping in now from the University of Iowa. Very cool. Heck is through 3 games so far, making an appearance tonight in the 9th inning. He is batting .273 so far this year. And the 2-1, as that one is going to be swung on and missed. Hecky has no problem locating that strike zone and is blowing it past hitters. So now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. DJ Heck down on strikes. And Drew Hecky does what he does best. Sitting down these hitters left and right. And now that is going to bring up, finally, Chris Burke, the shortstop. As Logan Conklin is sitting over there at first base still. And Burke went around. For strike 1. Another huge asset for Drew Hecky is just the momentum he brings this offense. Coming out of each inning, doing a great job on the mound. Most of the time scoreless work, as Burke is going to get under that one. Way under it. Shallow fly ball out to Davis Carr. Innings just like that. Drew Hecky able to get out of trouble, pushing that momentum to the bottom of the 9th as the Squatch bats are ready to come out and take this lead and take game 1 against the Casper Horseheads. It is a 7-6 ball game. Hopefully that lead changes in a matter of minutes. Squatch looking to walk it off, as we'll be right back. You are watching Squatch Baseball on this July 11th. To the 9th inning we go. Let's walk it off. Why not? We've seen plenty of that so far here at Black Hills Energy Stadium, especially in the past few homestands. Wouldn't mind adding another game to that resume. I'm Win Andrews, your voice of the Squatch, as we have 3 more outs to put this comeback in play as the 9-1-2 hitters are stepping in for Spearfish against the new pitcher on the mound, Thomas Touchette. And now Damon Gaither is going to be pinch hitting for Davis Carr, as Touchette fires that one in for strike 1. I'm very tempted to call him Thomas Touche. Kind of looks like that in writing. Would be a really cool name. The 0-1 is going to be taken low for ball 1. Nicky Winterstein on deck, followed by Ryan Bachman. 10 hits for each team. A 7-6 ball game in favor of the Horseheads. And a big swing and a miss there as Damon is seeing his first action at the plate tonight. This is a very important game, as is every other game for every team. The Horseheads looking to turn their season around, as Gaither fouls that one off. It's been a bit of a struggle. 12-27 overall for Casper. 2-8 to start the second half of play. But they have come in here tonight and flexed their muscles, showing what they have in store. And the Squatch are looking to build on this first place lead that we have in the second half, trying to make it to the playoffs. Every pitch matters. A 1-2 count still as Damon staying alive in the count. So Touchette's pitch in the dirt, low and away for ball 2. Just need Damon to get on base. Anyway helps. Touchette from Eugene, Oregon. Plays at Southwest Oregon Community College. And Damon sticking in the count here. Gets just a piece of it. It is a 2-2 count still. And Touchette's summer with the Horseheads. He has a 3-1 record with a 7.81 ERA through 13 games played. And a big swing and a miss for out number 1. Damon lunged at that one out of the zone for out number 1. And now the top of the lineup. The final hope here if the Squatch want to increase this second half lead in the division standings. And will be some huge momentum going into a long road series against the Horseheads and the Pioneers. As Nicky Winterstein steps in. Oof. Right in on the hands. Didn't sound like that got any bad at all. Fouled off way inside. It is an 0-1 count. So we'll see if Nicky can launch one. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. So Touchette, the 6'1" righty, set some pretty filthy pitches here in the 9th. We hope the Squatch bats are able to catch up to it. And the 0-2. Winterstein does. Fouls it off right into the Horsehead dugout, excuse me, not the bullpen. So one solo shot. That's all we have to have. It's much easier said than done. But I won't put anything past this Sasquatch offense. The 0-2 from Thomas Touchette. And Winterstein keeps fouling it off down that third base line. And the Horsehead hitters, the Horsehead players in the dugout are all yelling at him saying, "You trying to hit me? What's going on there?" And Nikki saying, I don't even know you. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nikki now. Touchette has gotten ahead of both Gaither and Winterstein, and he is going to be rung up, swing and a miss, a half-hearted swing around for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks now for Thomas Touchette, and Ryan Bachman is the final hope here in the 9th inning. Guy gets something going right now. And you know, when Nikki Winterstein is fooled on a pitch like that, it is filthy. You don't usually see him going around stuff like that. And Ryan is going to send that one deep out towards right field. And that one is going to drop fair, as that one is going to be just shy of the wall. Hits off the wall, and that one is going to get past. Ryan's going to try to take 3, and he will. So a 2-out double for Ryan Bachman, and then he takes third base off of the throw off the glove. A huge spot. I wasn't able to tell from up in the booth where we were, but it was hugging the right field line the entire time and landed on the track, bounced off the wall. Oh, if only a few more feet, Ryan Bachman would have tied this ball game, but we're still in a great spot as there's going to be a quick mound visit here, and Johnny McHenry is stepping in. All he has to do is get a single, and this game is tied. I'll tell you what, Ryan Bachman is just incredible in these late game scenarios. He was one of the walk-off men in Game 2 against the Spuds last week. Sent one directly out towards that area, out into right field. So down to our last out. The Squatch are never finished. Bachman on third base, McHenry up. Big cut there. He was swinging for the fences. Strike 1. All season long, it has been this 1-2 punch. Bachman followed by McHenry most of the time. We hope that shows off once more here in the 9th inning. Johnny's already had 2 hits tonight. One of them that 3-run shot, and another a loud single. He is 2 for 4. Let's make it 3 for 5, why don't we? The 0-1, and that one just fouled off. So Touchette once more. He's been ahead of all 3 batters here in this inning. And he has that 2-strike advantage on Johnny right now. So what will come of this at-bat here? And Ryan Bachman off of third base, and Johnny swings and misses down on one knee. The second pitch just like that. Both Nikki and Johnny swung on a ball way inside. They were fooled by that one. Some filthy pitches there from Thomas Touchette to end this game and make it a Game 1 victory for the Casper Horseheads as they came into town today and took what was theirs. A very convincing win on their end. And the Squatch fall by 1 run in Game 1 of 2 in this mini series between the Sasquatch and the Horseheads, but that's okay. Got plenty of ball left to be played tomorrow, as well as 2 more series, in Casper in the next few weeks. But for now, it is a 7-6 victory as the Horseheads take victory formation on the mound. They take Game 1 in convincing fashion. 7 runs on 10 hits for the Horseheads, and they played a great brand of ball tonight. The Sasquatch will look to avenge this Game 1 loss tomorrow night. 6:35 first pitch, as we will be having the matchups for you in the next few minutes most likely. But for now, a 1-run heartbreaker for Spearfish here in Game 1. But for now, we will be right back with you in just a few minutes. A quick post game. I'll have the stats ready for what happened in this game that really changed the momentum and let the Horseheads run away with it here. We'll be right back with you in just a few minutes. Sasquatch fall in game 1. And welcome back here to Black Hills Energy Stadium. I'm Win Andrews, your voice of the Sasquatch. After your hometown Spearfish Sasquatch just fell in game 1 to the Casper Horseheads with a final score of 7-6. It was definitely a heartbreaker as both teams starting pitching had very impressive performances. As Colby Schiffer for the Sasquatch went 5 innings of just 1 earned run ball. It was very impressive for him, as the opposing pitcher, Brady for the Casper Horseheads, had another great night as well, eventually giving in to a 3-run bomb from Johnny McHenry in the 5th inning. But it just seemed like at any point in time, even though the Sasquatch had a 1-run lead at one point in the game, the Horseheads were always one step ahead, always seemingly keeping that lead and keeping us at bay tonight in game 1. They came in with an attitude that they were wanting to win and take back their season, and they showed that. They showed that aggression in game 1 for sure. So the Sasquatch now looking to avenge tonight's loss with a game 2 victory tomorrow. And we'll be playing much better ball, at least defensively, as we fell to a few tough innings of errors. So with Colby Schiffer being on the mound, he actually gave up 3 runs with only one of them being earned because there was a 2-run error that let the Horseheads score, followed by another 2-run error later on in the game. So 4 runs, counted 4 off of 2 errors by the Sasquatch defense. Does not really spell a recipe for success most nights. And the Squatch batting, I mean, the Squatch offense was great. You know, still being able to drop 6 runs across against some very impressive Horsehead pitching tonight. But Casper able to ultimately keep us at bay, even though we got very close in the ninth, as Ryan Bachman able, with 2 outs, able to reach third base, but then 2 strikeouts on some nasty back foot sliders / curveballs from Thomas Touchette, the pitcher for the Horseheads tonight, able to finish the drill and take home the Game 1 victory tonight for Casper. So a heartbreaker in that sense, but nothing will change the mentality of the Sasquatch to this point in time as we just look ahead to Game 2 tomorrow. We hope to see you all out here, as it'll be Christmas in July. A very fun night here at the park every summer. We hope to see you out. We'll be expecting a full house. First pitch, 6:35, as the Squatch look to finish this mini-series against the Horseheads with a win tomorrow to even the series, before we head out for a long road trip against the Horseheads and the Western Nebraska Pioneers. But with that being said, we are finishing everything up here at the field right now. It was a close one all game, but ultimately the Horseheads took Game 1 with a 7-6 final score. We look to change that narrative tomorrow in Game 2. I am Win Andrews, your voice of the Squatch. So happy that you are here joining us as you do every other night. It has been a fun one, and I'm always so glad to be here with you on the call. But until then, we will see you tomorrow. Go Sasquatch.